Many travelers to Peru tend to skip over Lima as they rush off to more scenic destinations, but we're of the opinion that the capital has a lot to offer. As one of the largest cities in South America, Lima can be a little chaotic and crowded, but it is also full of surprises, especially in terms of culinary experiences and historic attractions. In this travel video guide, we're going to take you on a tour of the city and show you 30 things to do in Lima, Peru. Now let's get started. We are currently at the Love Park, and are you feeling the love?
I'm feeling the love.
Plant one on here then.
Let's show you around.
There we go.
The Love Park is a beautiful park located in the neighborhood of Miraflores that looks out onto the Pacific Ocean. Due to its name, it's a popular spot with couples out on a date, especially around sunset when you get spectacular views.
If you're up for a little bit of adventure, you can also go paragliding. You don't need to have any experience since they offer tandem flights. And even if this doesn't seem like your type of activity, it's still pretty cool to go as a spectator to watch people take off the cliff. Restaurant pretty often whenever we're in Lima. This place is called Punto Azul, and they make a delicious ceviche and some pretty tasty dishes that we're going to be sampling today. We're actually ordering all of our favorite dishes at this restaurant, so it should be a tasty meal. I order the exact same thing every time I come to Punto Azul Ceviche, and that has just arrived over here. This is just the classic ceviche. It's only fish, no other seafood in there, and we've got our red onions. I also asked for it spicy, so you can see the red peppers here. It's kind of been crushed, but you still get some big chunks. You have your sweet potato, fresh corn, and of course the tiger's milk, which is basically like a lemon base that helps cure the fish. So yeah, this is my absolute favorite. I never get sick of ceviche. My mouth just waters thinking about it. Oh my gosh. So let's dig in. Let's try it. Let's grab some onions in there as well. Oh, it's just so good. Wow. I just love all the flavors in your mouth. Like, it's so sour and tart, but then you've got your sweet potato to kind of help balance that. It's just perfection.
The perfect meal in Lima.
Hands down, my favorite Peruvian dish. Love it. And now it's time for your favorite.
Yes, and you can't come to Punto Azul and not indulge in the seafood, but I'm trying something that's kind of unique to here, and that is the shrimp cheese risotto. Ooh. And guys, this is to die for. Like,
look at that.
You can't look at how cheesy that is. I'm grabbing a nice big shrimp here.
So creamy.
So creamy. This rivals the risottos you find in Italy.
Oh,
I kid you not.
Watch out, Italy.
Just so cheesy. And then you have the shrimp, and then you have all the different seasonings. Like, to me, this is my favorite dish.
Yeah.
In Lima right now.
I don't think you got a shrimp. Let's grab an even bigger one.
Yes, I did, but I'm getting a bigger one this time. Awesome.
For a little bit of magic, another fun activity to try at night is to go to Parque de la Reserva for their water circuit and light show. It's a popular activity with families, but it can be enjoyed by all ages. So dinner time here in Lima, and tonight we are going out for Anticuchos, which are cow hearts. I know this sounds a little bit unusual, but it's actually really tasty. So we've come to a popular place. It's called La Grimanesa. We've already placed our order. Let's go get our cow heart. That we're visiting, it actually started as a little street stand. So the woman who opened the restaurant used to have a little cart, and she used to sell her Anticuchos on the street, and she had a super long line because her food was delicious, so she was really popular. And eventually she was able to save up enough money to open her little restaurant here in the neighborhood. So yeah, humble beginnings, but you know, the recipe was great, so here we are today. So here we have it, the star of the meal. This is my anticucho. It doesn't really look like a cow's heart in my opinion. I mean, you can fool me and tell me this is steak, but I'm gonna have my first bite. I'm not sure how to do this. Honestly, it's a fairly tender meat. It doesn't have a lot of fat. It could pass off as steak, like if no one told you this is a cow's heart, you would never know. Your turn.
Time for my first bite. I'm gonna try some of the sauces here. I think we've got a red spicy one and a green spicy one. Oh, that's so good. And that is really spicy sauce. Wow.
Yeah. You know, the meat is really well seasoned, so it takes on the flavor of whatever they've used. Like the heart doesn't taste like an organ or anything unusual.
Exactly. Normally when I have organs, they're really tough and chewy, but this is as tender of meat as you're gonna find.
Checking out Barranco, which is a very artsy neighborhood. Apparently this used to be like a bohemian hangout back in the 60s, so we're just going to explore on foot. We don't really know what to expect, but so far we are seeing lots of street art and it looks pretty cool. Now been walking around Barranco for a while, and we have finally come across the main attraction in this neighborhood. We are standing in front of the Bridge of Sighs, a really romantic spot for young couples. Apparently this bridge has made lots of appearances in Peruvian songs and poetry. So yeah, lots of romance happening over here. Let's take a walk. Little introduction to Barranco. What did you think of the place?
Yeah, this neighborhood is a fun, artsy kind of area. We only spent a couple hours here in the afternoon. It would be really cool to come at night and see what the nightlife is all about.
Yeah, they have lots of bars and restaurants worth checking out.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way.
Yes. Waka Puklana is a giant adobe and clay pyramid located in the middle of Miraflores. Since this site is still under excavation, you can only visit accompanied by a guide, but this is a good thing since you end up learning a lot of the history and culture behind this place. For today's meal, we're going for more of an upscale dining experience. We are having lunch at a place called La Rosa Nautica, which means the nautical rose, and it's a really cool restaurant out on the water. There's this pier built over the ocean, and it just leads you all the way to this little restaurant. So you're like surrounded by waves, there's surfers, birds, perfect setting, and the food here is really good. I've been here once before, many years ago, so I'm excited to come back with more mature taste buds. Being the foodies that we are, we made sure to order 2 different sampler plates so that we could try a little bit of everything. We ended up having 3 different types of ceviche, as well as causa, lomo saltado, taku and more. If you're looking for a fancy meal out, this place is it.
Larcomar is a shopping center with the best views in all of Lima. The place was built into the cliff overlooking the ocean, and it has cafes and restaurants with outdoor seating areas. In terms of shopping, most of the brands here are on the higher end and the prices reflect so.
It's a super hot summer day here in Lima, so Sam and I have stopped off for cremoladas, which is kind of like a shaved ice drink, and I've gotten one that's flavored like passion fruit, so it's nice and sour.
And what's that called locally?
This is maracuya, and it's so good. Like, we are dripping sweat right now, so this nice frozen drink is exactly what we need. And for yours?
And I'm having my favorite cremolata. It's called lucuma. It's a local fruit to Peru, and I haven't had it anywhere else in the world. It is absolutely delicious.
That's good stuff, isn't it?
There's no better way to cool off. Another activity you can try in Lima is surfing. There are lots of surf shops along the water, so it's just a matter of inquiring about rates for surf lessons and board rentals.
Okay, so for today's lunch, we're eating at a place called Taiken, and they specialize in nikkei food. Now, this is something that I hadn't heard of until I came to Peru, but apparently Peru has the 2nd largest Japanese population in all of South America, and that's really influenced the cuisine. So nikkei is the combination of Peruvian and Japanese culinary inspiration. So yeah, we're gonna be trying some Japanese-Peruvian food today. Okay, so this right here is pejerrey tempura.
Tempura time.
Yeah.
And this is basically the local catch, which makes it nikkei. And this sauce is really unique because normally when I've had a dipping sauce, like when I'm having Japanese food, it's typically cold. And this is piping hot. You can actually see the steam coming off of it.
Oh, Butterfingers over here.
Butterfingers over here. All right. We're gonna attempt to save this here.
You know, whenever I've had tempura at a Japanese restaurant, it's always been vegetables.
This is amazing. Like, this almost reminds me a little bit like sort of like fish and chips, except it's a lot thinner. No, it's just so tasty. The tempura batter is really, really good, and then the fish is really fresh. So yeah, typically when I've had tempura too, it tends to be something like sweet potato or other kinds of vegetables. Wow, does it ever taste delicious in fish form.
In fish form. So it's basically deep fried fish in a batter.
Basically.
Is that what you're telling us?
That's basically what I'm saying.
Let's get a closer look. Interesting. Are you gonna eat it? There you go. So next up, we're going to dig into the maki rolls. And this one right here has breaded shrimp and avocado and a little bit of fish on top. And I'm not entirely sure what the sauce or the powder is. Let's maybe dip it in a bit of soy. Oh wow.
Tasty?
And that's really nice. Okay. 1 second to chew this. So when we ordered this one off the menu, we saw that it said a ceviche, which kind of sounds like ceviche. And if you try this fish, you'll be able to tell that it's been cured in lime, and it just has like a very zesty, fresh flavor. You actually don't even need the soy sauce because it's so flavorful on its own. And I'm still not entirely sure about the green powder, but I do like it. So yeah, that's like a really interesting twist on sushi because you have the ceviche influence coming through. So pretty cool.
Plaza Mayor, also known as Plaza de Armas, is located in the city center. The square is flanked by many historic buildings, and if you're looking for colonial architecture, this is the place to find it.
The San Francisco Monastery is located just a few blocks away from the main plaza, and it's another site you won't want to miss. You can only visit as part of a guided tour, but inside you'll find a library with antique texts, paintings from the days of the early colony, and catacombs which contain thousands of skulls and bones. So it is time for another lunch video here in Lima. Today we're filming downtown, so we popped into one of the few restaurants that was willing to serve us lunch at 11 a.m. because we're already starved, and you know, when we're hungry, we get hangry. So here we are. We're going to be filming a video about ocopa arequipeña y papa la huancaína. Both are potato dishes served with sauces which are kind of similar but from different regions, so we'll be sampling those. So the dish Sam is trying, papa la huancaína, originated in the province of Huancavelica, and that's how it gets its name.
Yeah, so let's talk about the ingredients here. So the main thing here is the sauce. I mean, of course this is a potato dish, but this is a sauce that is made out of cheese, milk, and rocoto.
And rocoto, that's the yellow ají pepper?
Yeah, exactly. And this is something we're very familiar with because it's often served at your aunt's and grandma's house. So
yes,
we love this
a lot
dish.
of that, huh?
Wow.
Good stuff.
This is easily one of my favorite Peruvian dishes. Like,
yeah.
I just love this sauce. And then Peruvian potatoes are some of the best in the world. So it's like you're combining this amazing sauce on top of really well prepared potatoes. It's amazing.
And the cool thing about this dish is that you can find it just about everywhere in Peru. You can find this along the coast, in the Sierras, and even in the jungle. So yeah. And speaking of presentation, this is usually served with black olives and hard-boiled eggs. And these are small ones. I think these are quail eggs. These are quite little. So you like it?
Oh yeah. Maybe I won't be sharing after all.
So it is now time to try the second potato dish, and that is ocopa arequipeña. If you have a look here, we can see the plate. And it's a little bit different from the previous one. This sauce is a little bit more green, but it is still served with the hard-boiled eggs and the black olives. And the two main ingredients to make this sauce are ají and huacatay. No idea what huacatay is. I've never seen this before. No clue. Not very familiar with the food here in Peru. But aside from that, the sauce also has a bit of onions, garlic, milk, fresh cheese, some crumbled crackers, and peanuts. So it should be a bit more crunchy than the one we had earlier. So I'm gonna grab a spoon here.
So time to serve
help
yourself.
myself.
Serve yourself up. Some of that.
There we go. Let's grab a bit more sauce so we can really taste it.
All right, time to dig in.
Yeah. Oh, and one thing worth noting, if you don't want to go through the trouble of making the sauce from scratch, you can go to the supermarket here in Peru and they sell these little packs that have the powder already pre-made, and you just have to like add a little bit of milk and water and voila! Instant sauce out of a bag. But let's try this. Yeah, so this one's a bit sweeter than the one we had earlier. A lot sweeter, actually.
A lot sweeter.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the past, when I've had it at my family's place, it's a bit more crunchy. Because I guess they don't really chop their peanuts that finely, so you can still kind of taste them. But this one, it's very smooth and very creamy. And it's a bit spicier than the huancaína we had earlier. So kind of spicy and sweet. It's good. It's good, but I still prefer papa la huancaína. That's just a classic.
Another place to visit in Lima's historic center is the main cathedral. They offer a guided tour which is very informative, and you can also climb down into the crypt beneath the church.
Just down the street from the cathedral, you'll find the government palace. If you time your visit just right, you'll be able to watch the changing of the guard. Unfortunately, we had just missed it. So it is past 12 noon, which I think means it's acceptable to get a little boozy. We are going to be doing a taste test of Pisco Sour versus Chilcano. Both drinks are made with Pisco, but they're quite different, so those should be coming soon. So the cocktail has arrived. This is the Pisco Sour.
Yes, and this is my all-time favorite Peruvian drink. It's amazing. Can't wait to try it here.
So how does it taste?
As you might imagine, sour, but also quite sweet.
Yeah.
So the Pisco Sour is made from a number of different ingredients. So you've got your grape brandy, the Pisco, which actually comes from the town of Pisco here in Peru.
Yeah.
Then you've got your egg white on top. If you take a look down here, you've got your egg white on top, a little bit of bitter, which is the brown.
Nice and frothy, look at that.
Nice and frothy, yes, that's the key. And then here you also have lemon or lime juice and often a little bit of syrup added to give it some extra bit of sugar and extra bit of sweet. So that is one very sweet cocktail, very refreshing on a hot day.
Yeah, and this is considered the national drink of Peru. Mixing it all up with my little seahorse. So I ordered the Chilcano, and this is a cocktail that is made with Pisco, ginger ale, and a little bit of lime juice. There's hair, there's hair.
You know who would really like this? Would be my mom. She loves ginger ale.
Ooh, that's a little stronger than I was expecting.
Potent.
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 Oh, I was hoping it would be a little bit watered down with all the ice cubes, but no. That's definitely got Pisco in there and you can taste it. Burns on the way down.
I might need to help you out with that one, huh?
Actually, the first time we tried Chilcanos, it was in Cusco. We thought we were going to a Pisco museum, but we got there and it was actually more like a bar. So we ordered, I think it was like 4 different Chilcanos with different flavors. So that was pretty cool. This one that I'm having right now is just the classic, basically ginger ale, lime, and Pisco. But you can get fancy and like make strawberry ones, cinnamon ones, and just, you know, different flavors. So one of our favorite things to do in Lima whenever we're in the city is to come to Kennedy Park, and they have so many stray cats that are taken care of by the locals. You can buy a little bit of cat food and feed them and play with them, and they're all really friendly.
For us, the cats are the main attraction. However, aside from that, the park also hosts an outdoor hippie fair, which is worth checking out. That or just go play with the cats.
Dinner time here in Lima, and we're at a place called La Lucha, which specializes in sandwiches. So we've ordered a Chicharron sandwich, which is like a fried pork. Should be really tasty. We're waiting for our food to get here, and yeah, let's get started. So our food has arrived.
Yeah, we've got our pan con chicharron.
It's looking good.
Amazing. If you look down here, you really get a good tour of what we have. So we've got the bun.
Yes.
Inside looks like we've got lots of onion. I'm guessing it's sweet onion.
Yeah.
Then we have the
Fried pork,
and then the camote, the sweet potato.
Exactly.
So that's looks like a pretty awesome sandwich. Let's try it now.
Yes.
Take the first bite. Is it ready? First bite. Oh, so good. So good. You know what to me? What really makes a sandwich
Sweet potato.
on my sandwich.
That's an unusual ingredient, but it works, doesn't it?
It does.
Lima's Mercado Indio is located along Petit Tuars, and this is where visitors can come to do all their souvenir shopping. Whether it's alpaca sweaters, chess sets, warm slippers, or silver jewelry you're after, you can find it all here. Lunchtime again here in Lima, and today we are going to be trying a traditional dish called ají de gallina. This is probably like one of those national dishes that you can find at almost any restaurant, but we're eating it at a place called República, which makes Peruvian dishes but kind of like in a casual fast food setting. So yeah, should be interesting. We've placed our order and that should be coming soon. So the food is already here. That came very quickly. So let's have a look at the plate. This is ají de gallina, and as you can see, it's kind of like a chicken stew. It's made with shredded chicken, and the sauce has a cream, cheese, and peanut base. And also the way they thicken this sauce is by adding breadcrumbs that have been soaked in either a broth or milk. And this is served with rice or boiled potatoes, and the boiled potatoes are kind of hiding underneath all the chicken here.
Oh, we do have boiled potatoes.
We do,
I thought we were just given rice.
So this is a very hearty meal. I'm kind of glad we're just sharing one plate because there's no way I could eat all of this. But yeah, let's dig right in. I'm just gonna try it with rice here. Look at that. This looks so good.
This is one of my favorite ways that chicken is prepared here in Peru. Like, I love this dish.
And I don't know if I forgot to mention this, but another key ingredient is ají, the hot pepper. But because it has a cream base, it's not super spicy. So I really love this.
And look, they actually gave us ají sauce too.
In case we wanted spicier, maybe we should add a little bit.
In case there wasn't enough, yeah, just dunk it all over that rice.
I'm not sure if that's how it's done, but that's what I'm
That's how we do it.
So let's see if that has more kick now.
Another quality control bite here.
Quality control, that's what we call it. Now it's spicier, that's good.
Nice and creamy too.
Feel the burn.
Lima's beaches are very pebbly and the waters are rather cold, but that doesn't keep beachgoers away. If you just want to sunbathe or cool off with a quick dip, the beaches fit the bill.
For today's lunch in Lima, we are going to be having Chifa, and that's basically Chinese food with a Peruvian twist. So you know how we always visit a country, maybe even Canada or the US, and you go to a Chinese buffet and you're like, this is delicious. And then you go to China and you can't find any of the dishes you've had at a Chinese buffet? That's because Chinese food really varies from one country to the next because people incorporate, their spices and their cooking styles. So Peruvian Chinese food is quite distinct. We're going to be eating chifa, which literally means to eat rice. So yeah, we've ordered a lot of food that's going to be coming soon, and it should be interesting. Peruvian Chinese food. Apparently there are more than 6,000 chifa restaurants spread out across Lima, so we can assure you that you won't have any trouble finding one. On the contrary, it might be kind of hard to choose just one. If you want to see what a local market looks like, head over to Mercado de Surquido. You'll find lots of fresh produce here, and it's particularly busy if you come in the early morning. They also have little stands where you can grab a bite if you get hungry. For today's video, we're at a place called Sanguchissimo, and we're going to be eating salchipapas by popular demand. We had all these people being like, if you're in Lima, you have to eat salchipapa. So we listened to you, we tracked down this place, and we're excited to be trying this dish. So our choripapa and salchipapa have arrived. We've got the sausage one and the hot dog one. Look at those portions. That is a thing of beauty. And this is a street food snack that originated in the streets of Lima, but now it has spread all over Latin America, so you can find it in other countries, which is pretty cool, different variations everywhere. And it comes with 4 different sauces that we've got here on this plate. We've got ketchup, mayo, mustard, and of course ají.
I think the ají is my favorite one.
Yes, mine too. So we may need to ask for an extra container. And this is like a really nice spicy sauce that you'll find almost everywhere in Peru. It's always a staple at the table. So yeah, really looking forward to digging into this. It looks fantastic. So let's just go for it. So on top here we have...
Look at all that cheese.
Yeah, that's a lot of cheese and some fried egg as well. And when we were placing our order, they asked us, do you want your egg like well fried or do you want it a little bit runny? And there's nothing that grosses out Sam more than runny eggs, so we got ours well done, sunny side up. So yeah, I kind of like my eggs runny. I like them juicy.
I don't like my runny eggs. It grosses me out when the yolk bursts, and it's just like,
Sam's always like, take it away. I can't look at the plate. Take it away. But anyways, I've got a little bit of everything on here. My French fry, my hot dog, my egg,
dip it into a sauce.
And yes, let's dip it into
Almost forgot
ají.
that.
Can't forget that.
Load up on that ají.
That's a massive bite.
A little messy.
Wow. That's good. Give me 1 minute. This is wonderful. If I were a kid, I feel like I would want to eat this every day. I'd be like, Mom, please, salchipapa for lunch. It's really good. It's really hot. I just burned my mouth when I took that first bite. But look at that.
Yeah, it's got a lot of ingredients that kids would love. I mean, you got your French fries, you've got your cheese, you've got your eggs, you've got your hot dog, you've got your nice sauces. That's ticking off a lot of boxes for sure.
It's wonderful. And I have to say, the ají at this restaurant is actually really spicy.
Which is
the spiciest I've had. So right now we are visiting Parque Maria Raige, which is a really cool park where they've recreated the Nazca lines using flowers and different plants. So if you don't want to go all the way down to Nazca and you don't want to fly in one of those tiny planes, you can come here and kind of get an idea of what the Nazca lines look like. I mean, these are obviously much smaller. If you have a bit of a sweet tooth, you'll certainly enjoy diving into Peruvian desserts. There are a few classics that you simply shouldn't miss, including Suspiro a la Limeña and Merengado de Chirimoya.
Another fun way to experience the city is by bike. Head down to the boardwalk where you can hire a bicycle for a few hours and bike the length of the coast.
Time for another food video, and today we are going to be trying something that's called Causa. Causa, it's kind of like a shepherd's pie if you haven't tried it before. It's made with yellow mashed potato and you can get lots of different fillings. So we've ordered 2 different varieties and that should be coming soon and it's going to be delicious. I love Causa. So the Causa has arrived and it is a thing of beauty. How excited are you for your food, Sam?
Yeah, it looks like artwork. I almost feel guilty talking into it. Almost.
Okay, so let's talk about the key ingredients that make up Causa. So you have your yellow potato.
Yep.
Lime and ají, which is the yellow hot pepper.
Yep.
And in terms of fillings, you can have lots of different ones. So Sam went with the classic, which has...
Mine has chicken. And you can also see that there's some avocado here on the side as well. So Let's.
And that looks like some mayo, a mayo sauce on top.
Alright, I'm just gonna dig right in. Going right to the bottom.
Ooh.
It's like cutting into a tower. Wow. That is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with this particular Causa, it's really salty. You can tell they've added a lot of salt to it. But it's just like, when you get that much yellow potatoes, it's just, oh man, it's so good. It's almost like having like mom's mashed potatoes back home or something. But with much better dressings, you know, with the chicken and the sauce and the avocado. Oh man, that's good.
Okay, and let's talk about the chicken. Is it shredded chicken like the one we had in Ajita Gallina, or is it kind of chunky?
No, it is shredded chicken.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
One more bite for quality control. Research purposes. That's good stuff.
And I am beyond excited for mine because I saw Causa acevichada on the menu, and that is a ceviche Causa. Look at that. So I've got my fish, a little bit of fish that's been kind of cooked in lime. I have my red onions, I have my hot chili peppers, and of course my yellow mashed potato with a bit of mayo.
Super fancy over there.
I know, and if you know how much I love ceviche, like this is just the perfect dish for me, really.
You're doing a good job of toppling it though already.
I don't know why I'm blowing on my food. That's such a habit. I'm like, it's cold. It's a cold dish. Oh yeah.
The best of both worlds.
So good. The lime. So much lime. It's so tangy. A little spicy. And those little pieces of red hot chili. This is my favorite. I haven't even tried yours, but I know this is my favorite. And that is a wrap for the Peruvian capital. We had a wonderful time visiting Lima, and we hope that you'll consider adding this destination to your travel bucket list if you come to Peru. As always, if you have any other suggestions of delicious foods to try or cool things to do in Lima that we may not have mentioned, feel free to share those with travelers in the comments below. For more food and travel videos from around the world, be sure to hit subscribe.